Welcome to Study Loop.
For this question, we're talking about G6PD deficiency, which is the deficiency of an enzyme inside of red blood cells. So how this works is the enzymes responsible for reducing the iron inside of the red blood cell and making sure that the hemoglobin inside of it is stable. So for individuals that are going to either lack or have a significant deficiency in this enzyme, it's going to cause their hemoglobin to take on an abnormal form. And it's going to basically lyse some of the red blood cells inside of the circulatory system, which is going to cause the formation of that anemia. So inside of an African community where the disease of malaria is present, it's first important to consider these qualities of malaria. It's mosquito-borne, and it's an infection that's going to infect our red blood cells. So the mosquito is going to take a blood meal from an individual and transfer this malaria parasite into the red blood cells of the individual. And it can cause severe symptoms that can eventually lead to death of the individual infected with malaria. However, malaria is an interesting parasite, and it does not like to infect red blood cells with unfavorable circumstances. So red blood cells that do not have much of this G6PD or have this sort of deficiency hemoglobin, these malaria parasites are not going to particularly want to infect those red blood cells. So in actuality, G6PD deficiency individuals have a lower chance of catching malaria or from being severely sick from it. So here, we can consider the natural selection of this scenario. So we have one scenario where malaria is significant, and we have another where it is not. And of course, we have two different types of individuals. We have normal individuals without this G6PD deficiency, and we have those affected by it. So taking these into account, an individual in an area where malaria is endemic or a common infection, the normal individuals are going to get sick with malaria more often and more severe, and they are going to decrease in population type because they will die out from this disease. However, individuals with this G6PD deficiency will have an increased chance of survival because they won't be dying from malaria, and instead will just have this slight anemia associated with G6PD. So here, you're going to have an increased occurrence of the G6PD population inside of this community. Whereas for a community where malaria is low or rare, the normal individuals will thrive, whereas the people with G6PD deficiency will die out or have complications due to this acquisition of anemia from this disease. So you'll have a less occurrence of this G6PD deficiency. So here, the advantageous quality of this enzyme loss depends on the environment that the individual is in. So you'll find this deficiency or mutation more likely in communities with this high occurrence of malaria, whereas it'll be much rarer or lower occurrence in communities where G6PD can cause the death of the individual because there's no protection from malaria.